By setting an enrollment target for special education, the Texas Education Agency violated federal law that ensures a free, appropriate public education to all students with disabilities. Now, the U.S. Department of Education announced this Thursday after a 15-month investigation. And what they found is that in Texas, officials put out an arbitrary number of 8.5% of enrollment that in effect limited how many students could get special education services. Now, any districts that went over that rate could be penalized. In fact, across the country, there are about 13% of students on average that are identified as needing special education, though that may be increased in some states. The federal government also found that Texas failed to fulfill its child find responsibilities under federal law to reach out and identify every child who may need special services. Now, Texas put the 8.5% benchmark into place in 2004, and they got rid of it just last year after a 2016 investigation in the Houston Chronicle brought it to light. Now, over that time, the Chronicle found that hundreds of thousands of children were denied special education, including English language learners and students with mental health issues. Now, since then, enrollment has surged. Governor Greg Abbott gave the Texas Commissioner of Education, Mike Morath, 1 week to come up with an action plan to address these findings. According to a report released Thursday by the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, too often, low-income Black and Latino students end up in schools with crumbling walls, old textbooks, and unqualified teachers. Now, the commission said that inequities are caused by the fact that public schools are funded mostly with state and local tax dollars. That means that more than 92% of funding comes from non-federal sources, according to the Education Department. Now, what happens is there's a resulting imbalance where the education available to millions of American public school students profoundly are unequal, the commission says. Then they give the example. They said that 33% of high schools with high Black and Latino enrollment offer a class in calculus, compared with 56% of high schools with low Black and Latino student populations. Nationwide, about 48% of schools offer the calculus math course. On average, districts that spend around $11,000 per student each year, but the highest poverty districts receive about an average of $1,200 less per child than the least poor districts, while districts serving the largest number of minority students get about $2,000 less per child than those serving the fewest students of color, according to this study. Now, the authors are calling on Congress to create incentives for states to adopt equitable funding systems to ensure adequate funding for students with disabilities, and to increase federal funding to supplement local dollars for school districts that are underfunded. This study provides proof that too many of our children, simply because of where they live, are forced to attend schools that do not provide an equitable education, according to Education Department spokesman Liz Hill.